Welcome back to another episode of the King's Court podcast, or as we call it, the Bethesda Brothers podcast. I am the KingFanMan, and I am joined, as always, with my partner in crime, Joey Caps Gaming, or as I call him, Brother Joe. How you doing, Brother Joe?
Doing good. How are you? How is everything?
I am doing fantastic. And today we are going to talk about Fallout 76. We're going to start off a little negative, but we're going to end positive, I hope, anyway. Because we're going to start off asking the question, and I think we kind of know the answer. Is Fallout 76 a little stale at the moment? Meaning, is it in need of some content influx? In your opinion, what do you think?
So, I was really pumped up for this scoreboard, right? I was so excited. I powered through a lot of it. I think at one point I was ahead of you. And then I just stopped playing. I grew bored, tired. Stuff at work started to ramp up, so I really didn't feel like grinding on my spare time. And that's unfortunate because Fallout's fantastic. I love it. And for me, not wanting to play it on my spare time should say something.
Yeah.
Now, obviously this game needs a little pizzazz. It needs something else. And with the upcoming seasonal events being pushed back to next year, obviously it doesn't do that. So it's gonna, so the new content that we were supposed to get, we're not getting, unfortunately. So, do you know if we're getting like the 4-star, the legendaries yet, or like, what's going on with that?
Yeah, they have been pushed back, but we are
getting. They pushed them back too.
Yeah, but we are going to get. I believe we are going to be getting the Mothman Equinox. That's going to be before the end of the year, which is going to be a cool event. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We're probably also going to get a Holiday Scorched event, which is pretty much the same thing as we got for the Spooky Scorch for the Halloween.
That was pretty fun, though.
It is fun.
Pretty fun.
I just hate it's a reskin of
the Mole Miner Treasure Hunt.
Yeah. And Christmas. So we've got those two things to look forward to. But yes, I think your most diehard Fallout 76 players right now are feeling a little fatigue.
Yeah, I am 100%.
And that's because all there is right now is the grind of the scoreboards. And anytime the only reason you're getting on the game is just, I got to do my dailies, you're going to find yourself running into a brick wall. You're not getting on for fun. You're getting on to do the grind.
For chores.
Yeah. And a lot of times, sadly, sometimes that's why some people will quit a game for good. So hopefully, there's some new things coming into the game, and that's what I want to talk about. I think we can agree. I think we've talked about where Fallout 76 is. Now, why it's there, that's debatable, why it got to this point. Is it because of the virus that's going around? Is it because Jeff Garner left? Is it because of the Microsoft deal? Why did it get to this point where it's grinded to a halt, where we didn't get enough new things coming in, where they had to delay stuff? I don't know. That's up for debate. Only Bethesda and Microsoft knows that.
To answer your questions, though, with that, King, I think a lot of it has to do with them thinking that Fallout Worlds were going to take off a bit better than they did.
Yeah, I agree.
And it didn't, so that's the issue.
That's a very good point. Fallout Worlds was a very big thing, and quite honestly, I never get on them, and I don't think most others do as well. They were looking for something that kept you coming back to the game, something more than just a quest line that you could finish in 5-10 hours. But Worlds just wasn't it. Now, I think Worlds can be good down the stretch for certain things, but again, that's a whole other podcast. Why that?
Yeah, it's only a shell of what it could be.
Yeah, but it didn't work the way they wanted it to work. but the new content that's coming. Let's talk about the. And again, slight spoilers. We're not going to majorly spoil anything here at all. But the Mothman Equinox, by the way, it is in the PTS right now. If you play Fallout 76 on the PC, you have the PTS available to you. That's the public test server. So you can download it through the Bethesda, what's it called, Joe? I just went blank in my head.
What, the Bethesda launcher?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. The Bethesda launcher. You can download the PTS or the public test server there.
The Bethesda.net.
Yeah. You know me, and I blame it on the lupus. It's the lupus.
Lupus.
Yeah, lupus. But I played it. In fact, last night I played the Mothman Equinox, and it's really, really, really cool. It goes into some background of the interloper. And I don't know, Joe, if you know who the interloper is, but the interloper is wrapped up in with the cultist. He is that big, gnarly looking thing that's on the bottom of one of the mines. There goes lupus again.
Honestly, I've never run into the interloper myself.
Well, I mean, you see him dead on the bottom of one of the mines, and there's some lore about him, and then you run into the baby interloper there under the White Spring in the where the communists had their base. But everybody's been wanting to know more about the interloper. We know that he's tied to the Mothman. We know he's tied to the cultist in some way. And I can just tell you this. I opened up the first book. There's a bunch of lore books, kind of like Elder Scrolls. But every time you do the event, you get access to another book. So within the first, the first book, I actually learned a little bit about the interloper. So hopefully we're going to learn a lot more. But the event is really neat. It takes place in Point Pleasant. And by the way, this event is going to be a seasonal event. It does not stay around. So it's going to be like Foshnot or like Meat Week or Spooky Scorched, one of those.
King, I've yawned like 55 times so far.
Does that mean that I'm just boring you to pieces?
No. I'm like, if your subscribers, what they should do, every time when I yawn, take a drink.
Yeah.
Every time. But go on.
So I think that will give us a little bit of help. But honestly, I think 76 is going to be either saved or doomed by what comes next year, by the roadmap, by the tone that is set by next year. And next year, it seems that the first part of next year is going to be all about the aliens. In fact, we've been promised this Tales from the Stars. This it is a invasion from the Zetans, and this I cannot wait for. I really cannot wait for it. And I've been on record by saying this either is going to be something great or they're going to lay an egg with it. And from what I'm hearing about it, from what the research I've done with it, it seems like they're really doing wonders with it, because there are little quests that go along with it. It's not just a event. It's more of a thing that spreads out all over the map.
Nice.
Yeah, there are. Gosh, my mind. What was it called when you random encounters? There are alien random encounters that you're going to be able to run into. So they're adding all kinds of things into the game. It reminds me of the Sheep Squatch quest line almost, where they're adding almost a bunch of alien type lore into the game. So the Zetans are invading Appalachia. Now that should be exciting to you.
Yeah, King, it's exciting. They just have to execute it.
Yes.
It can't be boring. They have to execute it. That's the issue with what they've been having. That's why a game that I really do enjoy and I love it. I spent a lot of hours in it. That's why I get tired of it sometimes and I get bored. This better be good.
Hmm.
I hope so for the game. I hope so for 76 in its future. It better be good. Because, I'm really looking forward to Expeditions. That's what
Yes.
I really want. I want to see the pit. With the aliens, that's really cool. It's exciting. I don't want to poo-poo all over it. But what I really want, I want the meat and potatoes of what the heck is the pick gonna be? What's the expeditions? Because we have no idea because they're not saying nothing.
No, and I think I
So
think I think Expeditions is
I
going to be
apologize.
the last part of the year. So I'm really wondering what's going to come mid-year. I really want the roadmap. Hopefully, we're going to get a big DLC in between and have three big things coming, being the
I hope
aliens,
so.
something big, and then the expeditions as well.
Wouldn't you think expeditions would be that something big?
Yeah, I mean it's going to be one of the bigs, but
So
if you look,
it's
this
yeah.
this is what I'm thinking. If you look back at the past, and I'm talking about a non-corona year, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and if you look to other games like ESO puts out big new content every quarter. And I believe that's what they're wanting to do with Fallout 76. If you look
Yeah.
back in years where they didn't have to work from home and these things. So really, this past year and even before, the game really got hurt from that. So hopefully this is the year they rebound and we at least get three major things, and that would be a spring, summer, and fall. Maybe even something coming in the winter too. I would love to see four major things coming from each quarter. That would be wonderful to see them do exactly the way they do with ESO, and to have four major things, one each quarter. I would be thrilled with that.
I would be happy if $1 million just came out of the sky right now onto my lawn too. But the
Well,
fact of the matter is this:
they do
it
it.
could, it
They
could.
do it with ESO, so they can do it with
No,
76.
yeah, I agree 110%. They can, will they?
Yeah,
It remains to be seen. We don't know. We have no, they don't say anything.
yeah.
That's the part. They don't communicate. They're not saying anything. It's like, I want to know, man. I want to know more. I want to know more about expeditions. What's
Well,
going on? Is it just a daily op? Think about this now. It's. I think it's unfair if we think that it's going to be this whole big quest line in the pit. Because think about it. The pit was really short. You could beat that in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So if we're expecting this whole lavish thing where it's going to add tons of content, being unrealistic, you never played Fallout 3 before. Maybe I wasn't playing it correctly, but I literally beat the pit in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It was very quick. So, I just want something nice, something replayable, something, just new stuff. And the past year, it's been okay. It hasn't been great though. It hasn't.
mhm.
And it'll be interesting to see what they do next. And I really hope they hit a home run. I
Yeah,
want them to in the worst way, but they're gonna have to do it. And if it was because of COVID as to why the game wasn't that great this past year, then it was because of COVID. But I really hope they hit a home run here and they add more to Fallout Worlds. Add more. I mean, make it so at least our experience maybe carries over. Just something so to give us that incentive to play it.
yes.
I guarantee you with Fallout Worlds, less people are playing it. And I'm sorry for yelling and screaming. I just want this game to succeed really bad. In order, nuclear winter, I guarantee you there are more people playing that than there were Fallout Worlds right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's just they need to do something.
Yeah.
Come on. I want to play 76. I'm just bored of it.
Well, and I think it was like
I'm sorry.
I think we said last podcast, they're trying to find that happy medium between something that is replayable content,
Yeah,
but content that is story driven and good content that's not like daily ops, as you said. And
I get it.
that's what I'm hoping we get with the expeditions, and I think we
I
will.
get
I
it.
think we will. One thing that I found neat about in researching this about the alien thing that was coming up, I think we've known for quite a while that the Flatwoods monster is a Zayton. I mean, you can look at him and see that inside the suit is a Zayton. In fact, I did a video a long time ago about him being a Zayton. But in the Fallout wiki, it's really neat that they actually go a little bit more in depth about the the Flatwoods monster, and I just want to read this little part about what it says. It says, in late pre-war West Virginia, the Zaytons operated through a network of Zayton agents who captured individuals in the wilderness around the town of Flatwoods. So they are saying that these Flatwoods monsters were Zayton's agents. So they were kind of like scouts. The Flatwoods monsters are scouts.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're about to get the invasion 3 years after all these scouts have been here. You know, we've been here for 3 years watching all these Flatwoods monsters, and we've talked about it before, and they mention it here in the wiki about the chief executive officer of Vault Tech that was abducted by Mothership Zeta. Mothership Zeta. When he was inspecting Vault 76 at its construction, which is
That's
so cool. And of course, that was Fallout 3's Mothership
Yeah,
Zeta.
there is. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see the Zaytons introduced into the Fallout 76 world. I'm excited to see that we're going to have a quest line, an event, plus a random encounter. So I mean that really to me sounds like they're going and doing what they should be doing. Like I said, it brings me back to the Sheep Squatch quest line. To me, the Sheep Squatch quest line was they did everything right. I don't know if you remember that, but it was before they introduced the Sheep Squatch. The Sheep Squatch quest line, they had the main quest line, but they also had all these little random encounters around the world that were like they had cows that had the spikes in them. You know, they had a super mutant that was injured and said, "Oh, what was that white thing?" You know,
Yeah,
they had
yeah.
they had all of these things. Well, then the spoiler alert, if you haven't played the Sheep Squatch quest line by now, when you get to the end of the Sheep Squatch quest line, it's a fake Sheep Squatch. It's a robot Sheep Squatch. But it's right after that that they introduced, just a few weeks later, that they introduced the real Sheep Squatch to the game. So I thought it was brilliant way they did it. Just perfect. So it seems like they're setting up something like that with this alien event. So it's actually, the more I've researched this alien event, it's actually excited me more for the first part of next year with Fallout 76. It sounds like they're back to doing exciting things with the game like they did in the past. And of course, the aliens always excite me. I've loved them in Fallout 4. I loved them in Fallout 3. So I can't wait to see what they are in 76.
I hope so. I really do. I hope they capitalize on this and they give us nice, good, fruitful content.
Yeah.
I do.
And you know, there's some little things that we haven't talked about that are coming to the game. I did a video not long ago on the Metal Dome, which is a place where we're going to be able to go and fight robots. That's a new event that's coming to the game. That should be coming soon. I believe that will be going to the PTS first, but then it again around the first of the year. So there's a lot of little things that are going to be coming to the game. So it seems like they are. Now I'm getting past my worry. Now I'm starting to see Bethesda go, okay, I can start seeing plans for the future that they're actually working on. You know, and I have to remind myself, it's just been a few months since people have gone back to working in offices. In some states, they're still not working in offices; they're still working from home. So, you have to wonder how much that has affected the game this past year and a half or
It
more.
has. Of course it has. There's no way,
Yeah,
saying that it hasn't. But at the same time, um, eh, it's yeah. I just they need. I need them to capitalize on this for me.
oh, I agree
I
too.
need them. I need them to do that.
There's so
It's
much
it's
potential.
you gave out Fallout Worlds, and no one's. I'm not even playing it, and I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was a
But like
dud.
I'm just like, what's the point? Like if I can't like, get experience, like what's the point? So
It was a dud. It was.
yeah.
Uh,
So we'll
but
see.
but remember also, this is a game that they said from the very beginning they're going to try stuff. If you don't like it, that's fine. They'll change it, and that's what they've
Yeah.
been doing. And they've been changing things according to what the fans think. I got a quick question for you. In a game
Yeah.
like this,
Mhm.
I still remember what Chris Myers said from the beginning. These games live and die on new stuff being pumped into them, new content being pumped into them. Now, I'm one that when the game does get a little stagnant, like right now, that I'm playing Deathloop right now. I'm playing, there's other games that I go and play, and I will come back to 76. But is that how the normal gaming world is, or is the normal gaming world, once they put down a game, they don't come back?
If you're a diehard fan of the game franchise or the game, you eventually come back. There have been times when I put 76 on ice and then I come right back. But not a lot of people are like us.
I mean, but
So
real quick before you finish your answer, I take Bethesda at their word. This is a game they want to last 10 years, so I see it as a game
keep that. Keep,
that it's kind of like Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I was done with the game, and then when the
yeah,
DLC
but
came out, I got excited and I went back.
the the
Wouldn't that
the
be the same way?
the only issue with this, King, there's a few of them. They said this back when they had, Chris Meyer there. They had Jeff Gardner there.
Yeah,
They weren't purchased by Microsoft yet. That's when all this was said. And now we're past the 3 year mark, or we will pass the 3 year mark of this game. And I can't take what they said 3 years ago and hope that they're gonna capitalize on
that's
it because
true.
a lot has changed since.
11 days, it'll be
So
3 years.
yeah, so we'll November 14th, right? Yeah,
Yep.
so we'll see. This was a game that I had work that day. I had to go into work at 6 o'clock, 6:30. I woke up at 2:45 in the middle of the night. I woke up at 2:45 to play with my friend who was operating at the time on California time. So it was like 11:45 for him. So I think 76 was live what at 3 a.m. that morning,
Hmm.
and because I'm on the East Coast, and I played it for 3 hours until I had to go in to work, and I was so excited that day, and I was excited for Wastelanders. I just want that same excitement for something. Do
Yeah,
that to me again.
I agree.
Like let's do it. Come on. And I hope they're able to instill that in all of us in upcoming updates. So we shall see.
Do
We
you
shall see.
To finish, do you have the hope that the Mothman Equinox, the alien invasion, the expeditions, we'll just take those three, the three we know about, do those sound like things that will get you excited? To me,
They
just on
just
the suffer, if they deliver, those sound exciting to me.
first, but they got to deliver.
Yeah.
I don't want to be devil's advocate. I really don't. I love the game. I'm coming off like I don't like it.
Let's just assume they deliver. Do those three sound exciting?
Of course they do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just have They have to do just that, deliver.
Yep.
You know, I mean, what could happen from the pit, like for the future, right? What if we go into the pit, we do whatever we do, and then we take the train back to DC, like in a future update, in like a further update. That's what we did, and that's how we got to the pit from DC. We took a train there, right? Werner's train. What if we go back and we go back to DC? There might be a way back, or a way to DC. So that's exciting.
There has been concept art of DC 476, so
That's exciting.
It looks like we might do it in the future. Absolutely.
That's exciting.
Well,
So,
Joe, do you have
see.
anything else to say? My hopes are back on an upward trajectory for Fallout 76. I've always been very positive about this game. I kind of got really worried for a while, but after doing some research on this alien thing, I'm back excited again. I'm back on that train, and I'm gonna stay there unless they prove me wrong.
Just capitalize. That's all I ask.
Yep. Well,
I hate to be that way, but capitalize.
so you're gonna have to prove it to me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are there. I believe.
Please.
I think a lot of people are there, and I can't blame them for that. As long as they give Bethesda a chance, I think that's fair. Well, guys, I am the KingFanMan. That bald guy right there is Joey Caps, and we appreciate you watching this video, especially till the end. If you watched it to the end, if you're not subscribed to me or Joe, please do that. I'll leave a link down in the description to his channel, and also, we both have Patreon pages, and we both love our patrons. Thank you so much. Y'all go check those out if you can, and if you're able, think about becoming a supporter of our channels. We would appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. We'll see y'all next time.